Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Department Podcast, the Wrestling Recap version of the Department Podcast. I'm Stephen Clark with Justin Valentovic, Jesse Norman. Fellas, how you doing?
Good. You know, we actually can do one on time this week, not in the middle of the week because of PSE&G, but number 10 of the podcast just in general, so we've hit double digits.
Hit double digits, wow.
Yeah, we would have done that sometime last week, but you know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That.
Yeah.
But feeling good. Interesting week of wrestling this past week, though. So
another crazy week. Jesse,
definitely.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I really love the background for you, Jesse. A lot of creativity behind you.
Thank you.
Hey, it looks good. It looks good. Everyone looks good. Like we do on this show usually, we're gonna start outside the ring, then jump inside the ring. Not much news outside the ring, but the little bit of news we have is actually very, very important. SummerSlam is now being set for the Amway Center. It wasn't officially announced yet, but production trucks were spotted outside the Amway Center. And apparently Raw and Smackdown are to follow in the very near future. So this is big because the WWE has been in the PC since March now.
March, basically, yeah.
Yeah, ever since we left school and all that. So they're moving to the Amway Center. I like this. I really do.
This is basically their way of slowly phasing in to get fans back eventually.
Yeah. They're supposed to have virtual fans too, which is the rumor, like the Bubble is doing, having a big LED screen going across the whole thing. So I'm with it. I'm with anything getting closer to having fans at shows. I'm with it.
I guess this is the best way for Vince to get his happy medium of it's not in the performance center, so we can up the production value a little bit.
Yeah, you have Pyro back and all that.
And I'm definitely happier that they're doing it in time for another Big Four pay-per-view because WrestleMania, for albeit, was very underwhelming in the performance center, you know, presentation-wise. There's not much you can do there, especially with, you know, the steel girder roof and the big-ass fan, you know, above. But it's definitely going to be a nice change of scenery.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
You know, you could probably see like what AEW was doing and how they've been basically in a concert venue this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And really, you know, the presentation never changed. So now Vince can finally get back to, you know, the glitz and glamour of the WWE back in a normal arena for the most part until they undoubtedly start to face fans in, though. That seems like it will be inevitable with this. Even if they are planted in the Amway Center for, say, now till Rumble. You will see fans back in there to some capacity eventually, though, I think.
Yeah. I wish they could do like a football stadium. That would be kind of cool. Because it's open and just it'd be easier to get fans in, I'd say. But
they wouldn't be able to like plant themselves, especially now with the NFL season coming up. They wouldn't be able to firmly lease. Yeah. I saw like this is a long-term lease at the Amway Center. So if it's
October, I think.
Yeah, and they're probably going to do like 2 months at a time to see when they can take the circus back on the road.
Yeah, it's at least till October, but probably, like you said, they're going to see how it all goes along. So
they should not go back on the road until
it's safe.
This is over.
It's like fully gone.
Yeah, no, there should not even for like any other reason than just the health risks of the pure wrestlers. Like,
yeah.
I don't think there's any reason, but I think this is good for them. They're pretty much getting a bigger performance center, and that can, you know, have some fans in it eventually. Yeah. Hopefully they don't rush it. But they've been pretty decent about the virus down there. They haven't had that many people, I feel like, get it. So other than like the one outbreak, I would probably expect another one when they move to, you know, this one. But so far, they've been pretty good about it. So give them a little bit of leash.
And if there are outbreaks, they've been good at keeping quiet about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they just go off TV. They just don't announce it.
They just send them away for a little bit. But also, like, if they do eventually get fans back in, you know, they have a window from now to December until the NBA starts up again, depending on what the NBA decides to do by then. If they want to go back to the normal areas or start out in a bubble, because that's where the Magic play, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, the Amway Center.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and if they set up in one central location, you know, fans will come regardless. You know, they don't have to take the show on the road quite yet. They can set up the necessary procedures. You know, maybe stick them, you know, 20 rows back to be sure, and you know, have everything else kind of closed off, or you know, have actual checkpoints in place. And if they're in a place where they can actually let fans in, they can have the measures in place to check those fans at least to some capacity. and they can control it a bit more in one arena rather than going cross country to 50 arenas.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you think we see the NXT superstars back in the crowd too, or just like the big LED screen?
I think they'll have the LED board, but I feel like the NXT people will be there just for the noise sake of it. And I think, and so they'll probably have a mixture of both.
Probably.
Are they taking NXT with them, or is NXT staying at the Performance Center?
I think they're still at Full Sail. I think.
If they're staying, I would assume. I don't know if they'll bring NXT guys. I think they might just bring enhancement talent and have them.
True.
Be in the crowd. I don't think there would be anybody like noteworthy.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Whatever they do, honestly, it's a step in the right direction, so we can't complain. They're trying their best to make SummerSlam and the future shows feel special, so no need to complain here. All positive things there, but on the other side of the spectrum.
Also, though, Full Sail and Amway are only 20 minutes apart driving.
Oh.
I just looked that up. So if they wanted to, they could bring people over.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's probably honestly best, like you said, just to have some crowd noise there so it's not dull and boring and just a bunch of like silent guys on a LED screen. I think you can apply for it too. So
the fact that how does the NBA do it?
You have to like apply, I think, too.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw like some TikTok on it. It was like this guy applied to like all the teams and was on like 7 games in a span of like 4 days or something. So yeah, I think you have to just apply. So, hey, that's fun, though. Gets the fans involved again, and we'll probably see, like, the guy in the Mets jersey there back in the front row and all those guys. Brock Lesnar guy.
You know?
When do you think we see fans back, though?
I think WWE is going to be the first one to try it. Or they're going to try it as soon as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
So
AEW is already starting.
But it's also like
I think
AEW is very
within
small.
2 to 3 weeks they try it. I think
that's ballsy.
I know, but they're ballsy.
I would give it to at least September, maybe run through. Well,
September. 2-3 weeks would be September.
Well, I would go through September.
Mid-August.
Well, yeah, it's late August.
The summer flu.
It's mid-August.
This summer flu. It's insane how this summer flew. Just doing nothing.
Yeah, it flew so hard. Can't do anything.
Exactly.
Honestly, though, it did go by fast. With not doing anything, it did go by fast, which, hindsight, silver lining, I guess, we're closer to the end of whenever that is.
I feel like the past 2 weeks have been the longest ones, though.
Well, last week dragged on because I
officially have had just nothing to do.
No.
Like at least before there were some games to play or something.
And I'm like not looking forward to anything anymore. Like I have nothing to look forward to. Like we just graduated the other day.
Playoffs start Monday.
But it's like now I'm getting hit.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
You're right.
It's like now it's like the post grad like slight depression where it's like we ain't going back to college, but it's like no one's really going back to college either.
Back to college. Oh yeah. Wow. We got off track there for a second. But let's continue. We had some positive news. Now some negative-ish news, I guess. Jimmy Havoc was released from AEW because somebody came out against the hashtag Speaking Out movement that he had rape allegations and abuse allegations against him. So AEW released him, but AEW also released, I think, 2 female wrestlers who are across seas just because they can't compete, so they're just releasing them for now, I heard. I don't know the names of them. I never heard of them. I think I heard one.
Are they just stuck like in their home
I think they're stuck, but they're releasing them for now, which is probably going to hire them when they come back.
Probably just to cut costs and save some money if they're not using them.
Yeah, it's for now.
But yeah, we finally saw someone like take charge against the Speaking Out movement because we haven't really seen many of that. As we'll get to later in the show, someone else returned who was accused of the whole rape allegation stuff. But this is like the first major action we finally, I feel, seen. So it's good that AEW took a stand.
WWE released a couple guys when it came out.
Who did they release?
Jack Gallagher.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
A bunch of UK guys.
The UK guys.
They got rid of a bunch of UK guys.
Well, they're probably getting rid of UK anyway. Because who watches NXT UK?
It's just such an inconvenient time. That's all it is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. They're definitely
Jimmy Haven's in the UK too.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's a definitive problem.
Is it a UK thing? Or are they just like a little like...
Well, I mean, it's an everywhere thing, but the UK's really bad.
Yeah, like they got to get their stuff together over there. Come on, guys. But no, he's a great talent outside of all of his other stuff. So in that matter, it's sad to see him go, but he does deserve to be let go due to all the allegations.
It's not
and
surprising,
stuff.
honestly.
Not.
Havoc's kind of a weirdo.
Even like his character is a weirdo. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, inside
He
and
likes
outside.
getting like stapled in the head and stuff. So
like,
Jesus.
yeah.
it doesn't really surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me either. But he's gone, and that's all I really have for outside the ring.
I got one thing. Did you see the update? Did you see the update coming to the network today?
Yes, good catch. I didn't put that in. Go ahead. You brought it up. Go ahead.
Well, they're adding, independent companies. Now, are they the current shows that like the companies would future produce, or is it just the video archives of Matt Riddle and Keith Lee and everyone's independent history?
I'm pretty sure for now it's just the archives because those promotions aren't running any current shows right now. So anything that they've done in the past, what is it, like GCW, Evolve, all those companies.
Some British one.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I like that. I like that a lot. I think it's just the archives for now, but that's fun. I really do like that because you get to see a lot of stuff that you've never seen, and it just adds to the network.
And maybe we'll actually see them acknowledge like a wrestler's past, rather than they just. Well, here's the thing: if they're buying the video archive of Keith Lee and Evolve or wherever he was, they can acknowledge it if they want to put it on their own thing.
Yeah, except that for the most part, since NXT has even been a thing, they've told Michael Cole to not acknowledge people's NXT time. Yeah. Because it was a different thing. So if they weren't acknowledging NXT, you think they're going to acknowledge independent promotions?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's interesting that they're going out and buying the rights to these video archives because that's really where companies make their money is on the video library afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, they've tried to buy TNA's multiple times.
When Impact was just completely
When Impact had nothing, yeah.
The only
thought they were going to buy that archive a lot.
A lot of crazy things though with Evolve and stuff. A lot of like AEW talent and stuff had matches in Evolve, like Cody, I know, and like Trent and a bunch of guys who are with the company.
No, that'll be interesting if they're buying the full shows or just the matches and curating just the matches of the specific talent.
I hope it's the full shows. I hope it's the full shows. I really do. But I would understand if it's not.
Because if you
look just seems like more work though to not buy the full show.
Right.
Or
so
buy the full show.
Just like,
Or buy the full show and then cut everything else out that you don't want to show.
They could do that too. They have a huge editing.
Because I haven't seen the update because it came out literally like today when we were recording it. Because I saw the ad on Twitter where it was like Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Pete Dunne, and they were showing highlights of them in their respected indie companies. Now I wonder if they're gonna have like the best of Keith Lee independent. It's just a playlist, or Matt Riddle playlist of just matches. Then
they're probably gonna do that.
I hope it's not that, but I understand if that's the route they go.
Let me just look on my phone.
Yeah, but I know like Cody was a big part. He was in Evolve for a couple matches, at least a couple matches. Cody was all over in his indie run.
Nope, not watching on my phone because every single time I log onto the network on my phone, I have to reset the password.
Oh, that happens to me all the time
too. Every single time. I don't get it.
Like that's one password I know. Like I have a bunch of passwords. I don't know why because everything gets mixed up. But that's one password that I know is the WWE Network password. All right, thank you for that. I didn't put that.
I actually checked the rundown, so I knew it wasn't there.
Rundown? What's that? All right. Let's jump in the ring as I pull up the rundown, and we're gonna start off with Dom Mysterio and Seth Rollins signing their contract on Raw to have their match at SummerSlam, and then Dom just got beat. He got beat.
I said this was like Dom was gonna have to be okay with like getting the crap beat out of him for a SummerSlam match, and he proved it. I mean, he didn't need to prove it in this one hard, but he did it. He really proved it.
Yeah,
I'm still not buying into it. I just need this to be over with because he's still that goober.
He's not going anywhere.
No, I don't see him as a mid. I don't see him as a mid carder. I don't even see him who would he tag with. There's no shot he'll be a main event.
Oh, he's definitely going to be a mid card guy at least.
Like how until he just gets exiled over the 205 Live? But I don't think
it's very possible. Yeah.
I don't think they'll do that until at least Ray retires.
This would have been the perfect NXT feud. Like he should have been in NXT. There's no reason he should be in Monday Night Raw. Like
his daddy's Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, but if Yeah, well,
I don't know. I don't know
But
what else you want me to say
if
here.
this Raw was in like Madison Square Garden, could you really see people paying money to see Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins?
Yes.
Yes, because it's not it's not a one match card.
Because the last name too. If it's just a random kid that's 23 years old or however the hell old he is, no. But it's the last name that people want to see, that people have nostalgia from back in the day of when he was a little kid jumping over the barricade.
You know, I picture Dominic Mysterio right now is
What?
the equivalent of Nicholas winning the tag titles with Braun Strowman. That's the equivalent of Dom Mysterio
no, those
right
are
now.
different.
That's dirty.
Nicholas was 10.
That's
Yeah,
dirty.
and I still see the 10-year-old of Dominic Mysterio.
That was so bad.
Just wait until Braun loses and then has to bury the tag team division again.
Braun looking ugly too with his bald head, but we'll get to that later in the show too. But yeah, no.
The faster we get to SummerSlam, the faster this gets over with.
SummerSlam is very iffy, the card for me. I'm excited for it and I'm not at
But
the
it
same
also
time.
it's got a lot of boom or bust potential.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. But
Higher
no,
on the bus side.
as of right now, I'm on the bus side too.
They're counting on some guys that I don't
Payback better
think
be
they've
good.
necessarily counted on.
It's a lot of
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of screw themselves though and give the wrong matches too much time and not the right matches enough time.
Yeah, I get that. No.
Like the Sasha Bailey Asuka matches and the Mandy Rose Sonya Deville should be given probably the most times, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, because if you're banking like this, I think is your chance to maybe reset the women's division again a little bit since Becky and Charlotte are gone, and obviously you're not building up a new star right now. I would say you might as well give a spotlight, I would say, especially to Mandy and Sonya.
Yeah,
that's the one that needs it the most.
I saw a fact on Twitter or something that this is Sonya's first singles match on a pay-per-view.
Yes.
Yep. And she's been on the main roster, what, 3-4 years roughly? Probably?
A little while now. Yeah, she's been here a little while.
With Riot Squad and Absolution when they debuted.
Absolution, wow.
Paige was still active at that point.
Yeah, that was like her last little stint, basically.
That was so that was at least 3 years ago then, right? 2017.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, roughly around then.
God, that's so long ago.
Wow. But, yeah, well, Mysterio got hazed.
Yeah.
Raw Underground is back, but no dancers. That was one thing I took note of.
That was definitely a one-off.
I wish it wasn't. I like the dancers. It adds to the aesthetic of it.
Mm-hmm.
Of like a hard knocking, like almost like an underground bar in a way.
I wish it just stayed straight 1 hour, not bouncing in between an hour. You know, Raw Underground, then standard Raw.
Oh, you wanted the whole last hour?
Just do a whole 10 hour. Like,
well, I like that they wait till 10 o'clock at least.
That's fine. I like the marketing of it then.
Me too.
But if you're gonna market it as, it's coming at 10 o'clock, it's kind of like the kids go to bed type of thing, and this is like the violent part of Raw. It should be the full thing, not bouncing in and out. Because at that point, it's like the suspension of disbelief is just kind of gone. Then at that point,
yeah, it feels like a separate thing from Raw already. But then when you add it back in, like cutting to Raw and then to Raw Underground, it's like, I don't know. It just feels weird. It's like, wait, is this a part of this? Is this not a part of it? Like,
but Riddick Moss stood out on Raw Underground, which was cool, I guess, to see him back.
Was he the one who grabbed the guy by the nuts?
I want to say yes.
Okay.
I want to say yes.
I think so.
They're still nameless to me at this point.
Well, he was in NXT for like years. He came up to win the 24/7 title.
Yes.
I think someone in his his brother or something that high at risk for getting COVID, so he's been out for a little bit. So he just recently came back a couple of weeks ago. So but Shayna Baszler, which is also on Raw Underground, was throwing horrible punches, if we're being honest. Like, I know she's trying to...
I said I wanted this. I said I wanted Shayna in the Underground.
You got it.
You got it. I don't know. Like, Shayna was a legit fighter. Why does she look like she can't throw punches?
Like she was throwing, like she was holding him back too much.
Like, so much.
Like, maybe
so much.
Or maybe that's just the way they shoot it, that it kind of exposes it a little bit more.
It could be. Like, even if she was throwing Shane McMahon punches,
she threw a terrible punch on Sasha a couple weeks ago, too, though.
Yeah, the backstage segment.
That punch was terrible.
Like, I don't know if they told her to hold back more or like do the Shane McMahon punches, if anything, the little jab here, there.
Yeah.
Like
Make it,
that would look better than what she's doing.
yeah, the quicker the punch, the easier it is to hide it.
But it is fun to see females. I did like you, Jesse. I wanted to see females in Raw Underground too. So.
Now I wonder how they're going to do it in the Amway Center then. Or is this kind of like the end of it then?
They might just still film that there and not have anybody who's on the Raw show be a part of Raw Underground. Like the Hurt business, whatever. Like they were on the first one, they won't be.
Because here's my thing, like, you know, underground arenas, like there are bigger areas for like loading trucks and whatnot to get in and out and whatnot. Yeah. So you could fit it, but like, are they?
So I have a question. Raw Underground and Retribution, are they connected whatsoever? They debuted at the same, like around the same time.
Retribution hasn't been on NXT yet, right?
That's the only show. So
I still think they might be NXT holdover, like outcasts.
Was it one of you guys who said it was the cruiserweights? Or no? It was someone else. Someone else said they were the cruiserweights, but as we saw on SmackDown, some of them were huge this week.
Yeah.
There were like 10 of them this week.
Yeah.
I think it might be people from NXT.
Yeah, I think I hope it's just people that we know.
Yeah.
If it's people that we don't know, it's going to ruin it. And like, who the hell is this guy? And why is he on my TV screen?
Or at least like 2 household names to at least carry it a little bit.
Like, I know this isn't going to happen, but CM Punk put out a tweet saying, I know a thing or two about Retribution. He's just tickling our balls right now.
Yeah, he's screwing around because he knows he can.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But I just hope it's something that pays off in the long run, too.
Do you think we see them at SummerSlam?
I think that's where you get at least the first reveal. At least maybe the leader of whatever the group. I think that's where you see the first reveal.
I think you need something at SummerSlam.
What was that, Justin?
I feel like you almost have to.
Yeah, because it's the second or third biggest pay-per-view of the year. And this group is interrupting constantly on SmackDown, a little bit less on Raw. I don't know why they're doing more damage on SmackDown. That might be something, too. I don't know.
I said it before. I'll say it again. We need John Cena to come back and beat Retribution like he did the Nexus.
I'm with it.
The Exterminator.
I just want Cena back in general. I miss him.
We're never getting our man back.
Rumble, maybe? WrestleMania maybe next year. If it's in Hollywood, if they're at LA, he's gonna have to be there.
If they're in, he'll still do Mania matches. I believe I guarantee he's gonna come out again next year and be like, I'm not gonna do Mania this year, guys, because he's done that the past like 3 years. He's like, no, I don't deserve a Mania match, but okay, all right.
And then McIntyre comes out or something.
I'll do it.
No, I think if it's Mania's in LA, you have to run Roman and Rock. You have to run Roman and Rock.
Oh.
I have that same feeling.
I'm with it. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, you're with it, but I don't think other people would be with it.
If Mania's back in LA, because remember there were some things where they were thinking about giving it to Tampa just because of the whole issue this year.
Yes.
If it's in LA, are we finally going to see The Rock going to the Hall of Fame? Because it's his two worlds colliding at that point.
I think you have the Ric Flair treatment, Hall of Fame night before last match.
Yeah.
The next night at WrestleMania. Because Hollywood's the perfect.
Batista did that too.
Yeah.
They did that with Batista.
Yeah. I thought that's what Goldberg was doing, and then he still comes back.
Well, Saudi Arabia money, you know?
Yeah.
That blood money runs deep.
Yeah, no. Oof, yeah. Let's round out Raw. A couple last things. Asuka had a hell of a week starting on Monday Night Raw. First, she beat Bayley on Raw to get the number 1 contendership against Sasha. So we're getting Asuka Sasha, and hell, I'll just do SmackDown quick. She won the multi-brand battle royal on SmackDown, but she also gets to face Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. I'm very happy it's not a triple threat match. I don't want one winner again to have both. I'm glad it's separate.
She's gonna beat one of them.
She's gotta beat one.
She's gonna beat one, and it's gonna start the breakup.
I think she beats Sasha.
I would say Bayley almost.
Bayley,
because then you could see Bayley's almost been trying to be like the puppet master for Sasha.
Yeah.
So what if Bayley loses her belt and tries to coerce her into either giving her, Sasha's belt to her or having a match with her to win it from her?
But Sasha was never like that to Bayley.
Smart.
Bayley had the belt and Sasha didn't. I hope they don't take it off Sasha already because she just got it.
And see, that's why I can see
they've already done that with her.
And that's why I could see it going off of Bayley then. Because then Bayley could be the jealous, power-hungry one to start the schism of them both.
I can see whatever the first match is, that's the one she's going to win. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Whatever the first one of the two is. So if
what if she loses the first one, the second one that's like, let's say the first one is her and Bayley.
Yeah.
She loses to Bayley.
Okay.
And then second match, Bayley comes out, tries to help Sasha, ends up screwing it up, and then that's where they kind of
something
turn.
Like that.
And then if you take the belt off one of them, they just blame the other one for it. So then you can even have Asuka maybe go do her own thing,
and then have
Bayley Sasha go for the other belt and lose the tag titles along the way.
Wow. Yeah. No,
that would probably. I would say like they're fractured, then they lose the tag titles, and then they break on each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would probably be the best thing.
Yeah.
Well, the best thing would be keeping them together longer because they're fantastic.
Honestly,
They would just have to milk the slow breakdown of each other, though. You know, maybe if Bayley loses the belt now, it doesn't come, right away. She's jealous. She wants a belt back. Maybe slowly plant those seeds throughout, kind of how we saw them plant the seeds of Sasha kind of eyeing the belt Bayley had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's fine too.
It's sad because it's like this storyline has been going on for so long, but this is the first time that I've liked Bayley and Sasha.
Me too.
So while they can break them up and be like, oh, this has been going on for 2.5 years, it's like, yeah, but it's really only been enjoyable for a couple months, so we would kind of like it longer.
Yeah.
This started
long-term booking.
This started pre-Mania, right? Those two together?
Bayley and Sasha have been together on and off for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Easily.
Crazy.
They already were a team and had a huge blow-up where they attacked each other and went to therapy and everything.
Yeah.
And then they dropped it. They just dropped it and made them friends again.
Wow.
This storyline has literally been going on for years.
For years. Long-term booking, like you said. And lastly, on Raw, main event was Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Randy Orton got the win, yada, yada, yada. But after that, Randy calls Ric Flair in the ring, cuts a nasty little promo. One of the best promos probably in years, I would say. Just calling Ric Flair a bunch of stuff and saying he's the son he always wanted, which is like a shot to the head because we all know what happened to Ric Flair's son and all that.
Yeah.
And just calling him like an alcoholic and should have died when you were in the coma and all that stuff, and just saying all this nasty stuff, and then finally low blows Rick and then punts him as the lights go out because he probably obviously didn't.
He didn't punt him. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch an old man.
They pulled the same thing on Smackdown too with Braun and Alexa with the lights going out.
Yeah, but Alexa, they couldn't hide that. Alexa was clearly falling though.
He probably had a crash mat or something.
They cut it a little.
I don't know. I think Alexa just took that.
Why did they cut it then?
They cut it. Maybe they cut too late.
Maybe they did cut too late.
Probably. But yeah, back to Raw.
Rick was really good in this, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Rick was like, I'm just here. I'm just Charlotte's dad. And I was like, where's Charlotte then?
Yeah.
I'm just here. I'm Charlotte's dad, and I'm just proud of you. And Randy's like, oh, okay, buddy, bring it in. And everybody knows.
Boom.
Everybody. I think even Rick knows. Oh, he's done. It's over.
Yeah, that was good, though. I really enjoyed it. Rick doesn't need to be in the Performance Center, first of all, because his wife has COVID, I think, or something.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to write him off. And it just makes Randy Orton seem more of a heel, the best heel in the world right now.
Randy's so good right now.
Like, he literally attacked like a 75-year-old man.
Yeah, and
he Batistaed it.
Yeah.
Batistaed it.
Yeah, and apparently on Raw, Shawn Michaels is coming to Raw for some reason. So
he's getting RKO'd then.
There's his next
He's going to
victim.
get punted. He's going to get punted. Triple H is going to come down. Oh, then we're going to get Triple H Orton again, baby. Yeah. Let's do it.
But we saw Drew come to the defense of Ric Flair, though, so clearly, that's where they're still going. But
Randy beats Drew, and then Triple H needs to handle the business.
Yep.
with
So
it. And Triple H gets another
Triple
title
H
run.
is going to come back. Title run. Let's
Title
do
run
it.
for Triple H.
Let's go.
But I think Randy Orton still needs to be in the conversation of greatest of all time.
At this point, it depends on how long this run goes on. But
even in general.
This is his. No, not in general.
Let's
not start sucking his dick a little too much, all right? Let's calm down. Randy is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But if you can never put him ahead right now of Cena, Austin, Hogan, Taker, and Rock.
I'm not calling him the greatest, but he's at least in the conversation.
He's in the second tier conversation.
He's in the top 10.
He's in the top 10.
He's in the top, yes. But
okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But as of right now, he's more 9 and 10 than 5 and 6. If this run goes on if he carries this out even until just Mania, he would slide up a couple places.
Yeah.
But if Randy does wrestle 10 more years, then he definitely probably moves up, especially since this is the best he's been
since
Legacy, I would say.
Legacy, yeah, okay.
Legacy would probably be the last time that you could even compare it.
And Legacy was even then almost Legend Killer 2.0 to an extent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was I want to be the champion at all costs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who I sacrifice.
Yeah.
But this is his match with Edge. The 2 matches with Edge, especially the one at Backlash, incredible. The work that he's been doing, the heel gimmick, it's
fire.
It's so good. It's so good, and it's so good at a time that nobody else in the company is doing anything even close to it.
No.
What
Besides
do you think,
maybe Bray.
Like, what do you think finally lit the fire under his ass now to get him motivated and going again?
He supports Black Lives Matter now.
That's true.
That's what it is. I think Randy just has this switch.
Like,
and
when
he's engaged with material and stuff and he tries, he knows how good he is. But the thing is, he doesn't need to be that good 9 out of 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, he literally can mail it in for a show, do a couple spots, and do his thing, and he's good.
I think it's the house show thing that's helping him out too.
Yeah.
Yes. The reduction in schedule, I think, helps so many guys. And I really wish WWE wouldn't go back and do house shows for more than like a couple days a week. Just off of the sheer, look how much healthier the roster is.
Yeah,
without having that wear and tear on them.
Healthier and just it's better. The better product too on the main shows.
Or if they want to go back to house shows, do like the summer tour and then the Christmas tour, and that's kind of it.
Or just don't do every day because house shows.
Well, because there would be times where Raw's happening, and then you see them tweeting about a Smackdown house show Monday night.
No.
See, and house shows can be beneficial more so when you don't have a development team, which you already do in NXT.
Yeah.
But also if your roster is a little bit younger and lacks chemistry, the house circuit can help them build chemistry. All of the guys right now are all established.
They don't need it.
What young guy besides, I would argue, Drew, who's not a young guy and has worked with most of the roster, who in the main event picture needs that chemistry work? They're not making anybody new right now.
They're not.
There's really no reason for the house show to really come back.
Except for Dom Mysterio.
Oh,
Dom Mysterio, but he's about to get carried by Seth in a match that people are gonna realize is way better than they think it's going to be.
Yeah, he came out to his theme song on Raw too, and at least 5 minutes later it was already up on YouTube. And we waited a year for Io Shirai's theme. So you know how they're gonna treat Dom Mysterio already.
Star in the making.
Yeah. I think we'll get into NXT, AEW, Smackdown after our quick little break right here. So stay tuned. We'll be back in literally a couple seconds. We're back after that long tedious. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Short little break.
I usually edit like 15 seconds of music.
Yeah, we're back. But before we get into the Wednesday Night Wars and Smackdown, we have some breaking news. Live on the Department Podcast, Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio is now a street fight. Woo!
It had to be a stipulation.
Yeah, I never get to see Dom take more kendo sticks to his back, so.
You think he comes out in a shirt?
Do
Do you think he has actual wrestling gear? He just comes out in those skinny jeans again.
Nah, he could look like what's his face, the UFC fighter who came.
Oh, Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez. He's gonna look like him, just like him. I had the feeling.
Oh man, that's
yeah.
not good.
No, it's not good, but
it makes sense that this is a street fight. I told you that Seth is gonna beat this man with so many things, and Ray is gonna get involved.
That's fine. That's fine.
Maybe Dom wins when Ray gets involved.
I want Dom to win.
Yeah, Dom's definitely gonna win.
I want Dom to win. It'd be great for Dom to win.
Justin, you got to just get on this bandwagon.
No,
buddy. He's not going anywhere.
I know that's the problem because it's so legit. It's so obvious how they're just force feeding him now.
Before you leave the station, you got to jump on the bandwagon, baby. It's about to be the next top star.
I'll catch it at the next stop.
Oh, okay.
How until it gets eaten by Braun? That's what I'm waiting for.
That would be a horrible match.
They're keeping them apart on different.
Rey Mysterio, and I'm right. Dominic Mysterio in 3 months will be the equivalent of when they have filler for battle royals who enter during commercial breaks.
Yeah,
it's funny that you think that.
not on the Dom Mysterio train.
That's his ceiling.
I hope not. I really hope not. But let's jump into some Wednesday Night War action. We'll start with NXT like we usually do. Keith Lee signing the contract with Karrion Kross to open up NXT. Well, first Kross had a match with Danny Burch, but that's whatever. But Keith Lee signed a contract, tossed it to Scarlett. Scarlett had Karrion signed it, tossed it back in the ring. When Keith Lee opened it, it was a fireball in his face. That didn't really touch his face, but it still
scared him.
It scared him. It scared the big man.
Burned off his eyebrows a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, maybe get that facial hair away. Go back to the clean shave, too. But, hey, it's something new. I'm okay.
Is Scarlett, going to be the Red Lady from Game of Thrones or something? Do you guys get that?
I didn't watch
Game of Thrones. I haven't started Game of Thrones yet.
I will agree with you, yes.
Is that supposed to be like a witch type of character?
She's like...
mischievous, maybe?
Yeah, but she has, spirit,
powers?
abilities, kind of, magic stuff that she can kind of do.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that.
So, is that Scarlet? I would assume that's maybe Scarlet?
Well, their whole thing, the imagery they use is very...
Oh, their imagery is sweet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That was very, gothic and, witchcrafty-esque. So, if, some shit happens with them, it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I agree. But that's cool. We still don't know. We talked about this last week. We still don't know who's going to win this match or if there's going to be an ending. But it's still happening officially now at TakeOver.
They can't no decision a TakeOver championship match.
Nah.
I think they've built up enough goodwill that maybe they could.
Yeah.
Have they had any major ones?
I don't think. Not that I can think of.
No contest, no.
Yeah.
Well, and this kind of makes sense, though, if they're just these two monsters.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense that it's a no contest at least this time.
Yeah. So it's official for TakeOver. We're getting Lee and Cross. It should be exciting no matter the outcome, whatever happens. But Adam Cole invites McAfee to NXT. Good. Get him on the go-home show. He needs to be around a little bit. We've seen, like I said, we see what he can do in the ring a little bit on his Twitter videos. He can somewhat go in the ring.
I love how Pat McAfee literally set up a ring in his, office space that he uses to record things, and he literally has hype videos. Basically, Pat McAfee is turning into what WWE wish Gronk was.
Yeah. Just Pat's not obviously as big as a name as Gronk, which is why he's probably in NXT and all that, and not doing main roster stuff. But yeah, no, it's exactly what they wanted for Gronk. But
I think there's also a bigger chance that NXT fans know Pat McAfee.
Yeah, just because
main roster.
Because his podcast is pretty popular too. His show is very popular.
Yeah, and the guys that watch NXT are usually older, and they watch football.
They watch football, exactly. Like us. Look at that.
But they've built this feud up to a legitimate. It's credible. You know, like I can
Yeah.
buy into it.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
like
just
this.
like, oh, we're getting the punter involved here just for the sake of having a celebrity match. Like, they've built it really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did, which is good.
And
I'm
it all
okay with
started
it.
with the start of, the whole blow up on his show that kind of which was the catalyst for it, but it made it so believable of how well they blurred the lines.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. All right. A very controversial thing happened on NXT. There's a bunch of filler in between all that nonsense. Very controversial. First, so English. Velveteen Dream was the mystery opponent in the North American title match, number one contender, whatever nonsense that is. He was the mystery guy with Kushida and Cameron Grimes. Wow. Wow, is all I have to say. I did not see this coming.
Was not expecting that.
No, because he was accused of also the rape allegations and sending unsolicited pictures of his weenie to underage females, and something else with a male popped up, I think, too, that he tried to do something with and all
And
that.
there's been no statements
No,
made at all on any of this.
no.
The biggest statement that was made was that his Twitter was basically deleted.
I think one of the accusers came out saying something after it, like, I'm not going to get any justice for this or something. And I don't know. If he's on TV, there had to be something that happened, a breakthrough in something.
That WWE got on his side for it, at least.
At least on his side. Enough evidence from him to, yeah, I agree. At least on, like you said, on his side. But nothing has come out since that he's guilty or non-guilty of it.
Yeah, there's nothing. They haven't said anything. I hope they didn't just wait this out and are like, yeah, it's been enough time.
I think that's what they honestly. I just don't see them. I can see Vince doing that low key. I don't see Triple H doing that.
Yeah, no, Triple H is more in touch with reality.
Yeah, and his morals are a lot better too.
Because Triple H, if we're being honest, like out of all of them, he's the least like carny of them all. And is like the most normal human being of them all.
Yeah.
Yes, but I will say this, and this does not justify any of it whatsoever.
Okay.
Dream is the bigger star than anybody else this has happened to.
That is true too.
Yeah.
So we don't know what WWE is going to do. Because personally for us, like when I saw Velveteen, I was like, if there's any chance that that's true, he should not be back. He should not be on TV. He should be fired or at the very least suspended
a year.
Something.
Indefinitely till some allegation.
Yes.
Until
something. Yeah, exactly. But before he left, I mean, he was literally in the championship match with Cole. It was terrible. It was an awful match.
It wasn't good. No.
It was one of the worst takeover matches I think I've ever seen, which was so sad. Because it was Cole and Dream, who were two of my favorites at the time. But he was one of their main guys. So maybe WWE is willing to try to duck and cover and just see if maybe they can get away with it.
I hope that's not the case. But
yeah, that's not a good optic or PR, because if it comes back negative for them, then they... Granted, it's not on the same scale of the whole Chris Benoit thing where they inadvertently stood by him without knowing all the facts, and they really couldn't afford to do that again.
Well, I guess they're just doing innocent until proven guilty, honestly.
Or that.
I mean, there's also other guys on the roster who do have some moral questions as well. Looking at Lars Sullivan.
Is he still with WWE?
Yes.
Technically, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Oof.
I've heard some people say maybe it's because they can't fire him until he rehabs his injury. But
that's probably it, honestly.
I don't know about that because they're supposed to be independent contractors, and they fired people while injured before. So we'll see about that. But it's
a sticky situation.
It's so weird too, because even if they bring him back and just bury him and make him lose match after match after match, it's still not good. Like, he still shouldn't be on TV, even if he's getting buried.
Yeah, no, I agree. He shouldn't be there at all. If things are still true, he shouldn't be there at all.
It would not surprise me if he does lose pretty much every match. Like, Dream was never much of a winner either. He was really good in defeats, like Michaels.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he wins his match because he has a match next week for the last chance matches to get into the ladder match. Well, Grimes won the triple threat, and the 2 last chance matches are Finn Balor versus Velveteen Dream and Gargano versus Rich Holland.
I wish Balor and Gargano get in.
I want to see Holland in it, honestly. Just because he's new, and there's a bunch of new guys in this. And he impressed me a lot. He's a big dude who's strong. Like, just a big dude. They need to mix it up a little bit. Because there's already, but Holland, no. You might be right with Gargano, though, to mix it up then. Because there's already Big Bronson Reed.
So many young guys.
But see, that's the thing. They might need 2, at least veterans in it to carry it just in case.
So Balor, Gargano would be, I think it might be.
Because you can't have, how many people is it, 6?
5, I think.
You can't have 3 to 4 or 5 people who've never really been in a pay-per-view ladder match go in and do it them. Like, you need someone who can carry the load.
Yeah. I think Finn's a lock. I think Finn is your lock against Velveteen Dream to get into the ladder match.
Yeah, well, I don't think you can have Finn going into a takeover not having anything to do.
Especially takeover 30.
Yeah. You can't just have him do nothing. If he does get in, which, as you said, is a lock, he would probably be my favorite to win it.
Either him or Priest, I would say. Damian Priest.
I would say more him because of the history of NXT, and if this is NXT 30.
That too. Yeah.
You think if Finn and Priest are both in it, you think we see a rehash of that spot where Priest literally went flying back on his neck onto the stair with a ladder instead?
That was such a good match.
That was a really good match.
Honestly, I think that was my favorite match of the night.
That was,
Besides the triple threat, the women's triple threat was really good too.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, those are our matches for next week. Let's jump down or up to Florida. I don't know where. Down to Florida.
No. Jacksonville is north.
Jacksonville's up north. Going up to Florida. We're going north to Davies Place, AEW. All right. I have on the rundown who should beat Cody for the TNT title.
Anybody.
But a spoiler came out for it. Should I say the spoiler?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the spoiler.
Sure, no one listens anyway.
If you don't want to listen, just fast forward to AEW part and jump to Smackdown. The timestamps are in the description below. But AEW is on Saturday next week.
Man, I should really mess up the timestamps then.
Do it. Please do. Let's see who our loyal listeners are.
Yeah.
AEW is on Saturday next week because they got booted because of the playoffs on TNT. So that's actually good. I get to watch it, which is fun.
Is that rivaling? That's rivaling Takeover then.
Oh wow!
Oh,
I didn't even think about that one. I think it starts at no, it doesn't because it starts at 6, I believe.
Oh, so they're trying to wrap up and get done before Takeover.
Which is smart on their part because people are going to watch Takeover over that.
Yeah.
But the match is Brody Lee versus Cody for the TNT title on Saturday.
Oh, you got to give it to Brody Lee.
Brody Lee wins the title.
Good.
Thanks to help from the debuting Rowan, who is now in the Dark Order.
Of course.
That's good. That's good.
I have 2 sides to this.
Did he bring the hammers with him?
I hope he brings the mechanical spider with him. There's 2 sides to this.
I like bought it from Spirit of Halloween.
I like it because it's a change and it gives Brody Lee some recognition, finally, that he deserves. He's not going to finally lose his title match. But I don't like it because it's recycling old WWE stuff once again. That they're known for doing in AEW now. They're just recycling old storylines and old factions, and I like it and I don't at the same time. I'm very conflicted on it.
But also
AEW's audience likes that.
And they do.
The thing. They
love nostalgia.
They love nostalgia, and they love WWE things that they think weren't done properly.
Yes.
So if you do Rowan and now Brody Lee together and you do it better than Rowan and Harper, they're going to love it.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
Also, it helps open the door for Rowan to give him something to work with to at least start out with, and he's not coming in cold.
Yeah.
You know, if he's working with someone he has a comfort level with and has worked with in the past, he's not on his own having to fend for himself. So if something, goes wrong a little bit, someone can kind of help him along the way.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Order needed this too, I think.
Yeah, they needed something.
It.
Yeah.
They needed something.
They've been kind of
getting a little
stale-ish.
Yeah, and being in just the middle of the pack after Brody Lee debuted and lost.
Yeah, lost the title match, yeah. But he's going by his real name of Joseph Rudd, apparently.
See Paul's cousin?
That's not a wrestling name.
That sucks.
That's not a good name.
That sucks.
Oh my god, that's a really bad name to wrestle with.
Thank God he's with somebody, not on his own.
Yeah, Joseph Rudd is in the Dark Order, so we can't call him Rowan anymore, or Eric Rowan, or
We can call him Ruddy.
Ruddy
Ruddy the buddy.
Apparently, they said he trimmed up his beard. I don't care about that, but he's apparently going to be in the Dark Order. I wonder if this leads to the implosion of the Dark Order or something, or just adds to it. If he tries to take over the leadership of it, I don't know, but that's for the future of them to decide all that garbage. Mox versus MJF. I'm really enjoying this. This is one thing I'm really enjoying. MJF has been phenomenal. I think he got his match at All Out that's coming up in September. I think that's the title match. I think he should win too. This Mox reign isn't good.
No, this Mox reign is not good.
No, like compared to how the Jericho reign was so good.
Oh, the Jericho reign was so much better. The Jericho reign pulled people into AEW.
Yeah.
Moxley as champion does not pull me in to watch.
No, like he has crazy matches once in a while, but it's just not doing the job for me. It's not. Mox isn't doing the job.
I also think it's, and I mean, I'm not one of those diehard AEW fans, so I feel a little bit differently. But every championship match at the pay-per-view should not be a hardcore match. It shouldn't boil down to Moxley like doing all these insane weapon things. Like sometimes I would just want a wrestling match.
And we've seen him in WWE where they take the weapons out. He can carry a match.
Yeah.
Like
he can go in the ring. He can go in the ring for sure.
He doesn't need weapons.
No,
I think it is easier for him with weapons though.
Oh,
that is my main critique of the Moxley, Dean Ambrose, overall everything is he was always, I think, the worst in ring when it just came to needing a normal match. Specialty matches, he was always the best.
Yeah.
But the normal day in, day out, he is very good, but he also gets very tired of those matches very quickly.
Yeah, he gets blown up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I want MJF to win this title match. Give it a change. He's on the run of his life, and he's only 23, 24 years old or something like that. So give him the title. Have him build some steam. I'm with it. Quick little note. Mike Chioda came to AEW, who should have never been released.
Cool.
I figured. So I remember I listened to the Talk is Jericho podcast with him, and it basically sounded like he was going to show up there once the 90-day clause was
Shouldn't have been released. Shouldn't have been released to begin with. 31 years in the company. Shouldn't have been released. So I'm glad he got some recognition and got a job.
And he was going to find work eventually. Like that wasn't –
Yeah.
Like, he was going to get picked up.
Yeah.
That's so sad that he got released, a lot of all the guys. 30 years in the business, working for the same company. Wow. I still can't believe that one, though. FTR finally turns heel. They attacked the Rock and Roll Express, who were on AEW for Tag Team Appreciation Night or something, and they finally turned heel.
They should have debuted heel.
Should have been heels to begin with. It took long enough. Like they just their aesthetic and their look are very heel-like.
It's heel, yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. I know the hype was for them to come in and people were going to cheer when they came in. But now you can finally run the match with the Bucks, and you can run all these other tag team matches. Give them the tag team titles. Get them off of Omega and Hangman, who retained their titles on AEW as well.
That's going on too long.
Oh, my God. Enough's enough.
Yeah.
Like,
it's going on way too long.
Like, I like the two guys individually, but as a team, enough's enough. Just have them lose it already. And lastly, with AEW, Jericho versus Cassidy was a match. Cassidy won. Jericho just didn't look good to me in the ring. Cassidy's phenomenal, though. I love Orange Cassidy. Great character. He can go in ring, too. Just his whole aesthetic, too, with him is great. But Jericho needs to start stepping away from the ring, in my opinion. It's getting a little past his prime.
He needs to just, I think, kind of get back in a little bit better shape again.
He's a little chunky.
He is.
I truly think he can still go for at least a couple more years, but he needs.
Is he pushing 50 yet? Like, is he close? He's close to 50, right?
Yeah, I think definitely mid.
I saw a quote from him where he said, like, when he's done, he wants to be like a commentator or something. Like, still.
He'd be a great commentator.
Oh, he'd be great.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
okay, Jericho in November will be 50.
Wow.
So maybe he's hinting at a lesser role eventually. Maybe eventually just turns into the mouthpiece for the Inner Circle.
He's going to eventually have to be.
Yeah.
But that is such a big hit for AEW because I think he's their biggest star.
Yeah.
Like, I know they have Moxley, I know they have Cody Rhodes, but those are more newer wrestling fans.
Also, that's the thing.
Anything connecting them to old wrestling
is
him. Jericho,
it's him. Yeah.
Arn Anderson, and maybe Jake Roberts.
But also,
those other guys aren't wrestling.
But also, top to bottom, Jericho could carry an entire episode if he had to of how entertaining he can be.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
No,
so if they lose that factor to any capacity, it's gonna be tough.
That's a hit, yeah.
Oh, a great storyline eventually when he would like walk away is like they do a retirement tour for him, and then he like comes out and he's the GM.
Yeah, like an authority figure.
He bought ownership or like something like that of AEW, or like had it in his contract that when he signed with AEW,
he had ownership stake.
Yeah, he gets ownership stake or something. And then he favors the Inner Circle.
That'd be cool.
It'd be a better authority kind of thing.
Yeah. That's fine.
I think that'd be good.
I like it. That sums up Wednesday Night Wars. Let's jump to Friday 2 nights ago on SmackDown because this is going up on Sunday, I believe.
Yep.
More Retribution. They keep showing up. They interrupted Big E and John Morrison and caused. They like I said, they seem to cause more damage on SmackDown than they do on Raw. On Raw, they blew up a transformer and broke a window, and on SmackDown, they're using chainsaws and just attacking all the superstars.
They literally attacked referees in the back and like almost went after a guy who was taking a deuce like in the
yeah, literally he locked the guy in the bathroom while he's trying to like do his business. Like, come on, have some like respect for privacy.
Well, they did. They didn't outright attack him. They just locked him in. At least they let him finish in peace.
Yeah, and then they used a spray paint and all that stuff.
They put like a WWE logo with that,
and then they put a X through it.
So like no wrestling, maybe, or like
no WWE.
It's gonna be Team WWE against the Retribution.
Yeah. This is gonna be a Survivor Series match.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Wait for Bret Hart to come back. Bret Hart.
That's Edge's return match too. There you go. Oh, we need Cena for this. Like you said, we need Cena.
You gotta bring Cena back.
He's the exterminator.
Man,
have them win every match and then up to WrestleMania. And then Vince pulls in the big guns. And he brings John Cena back with The Rock.
John Cena, The Rock, Undertaker, Orton, and drag out Austin.
No, just John Cena and Rock beat 11 members.
Oh, my God. Oh, okay.
John Cena, Randy Orton against the whole Raw roster.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were winning. They were winning so much.
Bro, like all those
they
jobbers.
They could have beaten the whole roster.
They literally
could have.
They could have beat the whole roster.
And I would have been like, 8-year-old me would have been like, yup, that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember that match taking place too.
Yeah.
Was that 07, 08-ish?
Yeah, I was like betting favorite right now, John Cena, Randy Orton by far.
I just remember.
They gotta beat the Highlanders.
That's what I was thinking, the Highlanders. That was the name I couldn't get out of my head right now. I just remember them in that match for some reason.
The Highlanders.
Carlito.
Yeah. They eliminated, because they eliminated all of them, and then everybody just gets in the ring and just starts beating them up.
Oh, my
They were going to sweep.
God.
They were going to sweep.
That's insane. All right, let's get back on track to SmackDown. I touched on this already. Asuka won the multi-brand battle royal. We don't get to say anything else about that. Mandy Sonya having a singles match at SummerSlam. Sonya's first singles match on a pay-per-view in her career. Hair versus hair.
Hair versus
Woo!
hair.
Get ready for some bald Sonya, ladies and gentlemen. We're
This is
getting
our first hair versus hair since Battle of the Billionaires.
Yeah.
since 23. Trump
Topical.
versus
There was hair
McMahon.
versus mask, but I don't think hair versus hair.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause
I don't
didn't
think there's been.
Punk-
and before
Punk-
that, it
Punk
was
got
Edge.
shaved.
Punk
It
got
was
shaved.
Edge
That was hair versus
Angle.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
Edge Angle then, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Fun. Cool.
Something
Yeah,
different
no, it's-
finally.
Sonya's definitely going to lose.
And it makes sense
But-
because of Sonya cutting Mandy's hair a week or two ago.
yeah.
It makes sense to just throw the stipulation on. You don't see this, like we said,
Ever.
over 10, almost 20 years approaching, which is crazy to think about. That was 20 years ago almost. But 15, 20 years ago, that's the last hair versus hair match. And fine, add a stipulation. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not like a random Hell in a Cell placed on in this match.
Well, no,
makes
it's not
sense.
Hell in a
Well,
Cell.
see, no,
you're right, it's not October.
Oh,
That's the
Not
thing.
October,
It would
you're
make
right.
sense to have Hell in a Cell for a match, but they have that reserved for October.
That's ridiculous. But okay, let's
Well, that's why.
continue.
Maybe
Oh,
that's
go
why they're
ahead.
trying to get to the Amway Center too, because they have nowhere to put a cell in the Performance Center.
yeah.
You're 100%
Yeah.
correct.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then War Games too.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
They need to get out of there.
Maybe
they have
the
nowhere to
Punjabi
put that
prison,
stuff.
Who knows?
Ooh, will Takeover on Saturday be at the Amway Center?
Oh yeah, it will be.
Or are they gonna?
I think it will be because you just have to switch digital boards at that point. It's just, know.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay. AJ Styles came out with Joseph Park from formerly known as Abyss, TNA legend, and he was like sort of his statistician guy, saying like, "Oh, no one's on AJ Styles' level." AJ was saying, and here's the board of who's on my level. He took off the top thing and just said AJ Styles. And then it took off the bottom thing, nobody else. And then Jeff Hardy came out, and it looks like they're starting a feud between AJ and Jeff. They're having a title match on SmackDown, I think, next week.
Yes.
Same for the pay-per-view, though. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Same for the pay-per-view. Something's got to happen in that match. Maybe Retribution or something.
Did you see WWE like on Fox their Twitter where they like name dropped Abyss within the tweet or something?
Did they? I did not catch that.
They played into it.
Oh, that's fun. He played like the Joseph Park role, just like TNA, like really well. It's like the big nerdy goofy guy.
Do you ever think we ever see him in the ring, or because he's been a producer for a while? He's like done.
I think he's
No,
done.
he's definitely done.
I wish he would just have one WWE match. That'd be kind of cool.
Way back in the day, they were really trying to steal him. They wanted him.
Yeah,
and they had a whole thing set up for him and Kane.
Yes.
But he ended up re-signing with TNA.
They're basically the same.
Yeah,
character.
no, they wanted Joseph Park like since forever.
That would have been fun. I always liked him. Always loved the character.
Yeah, it was good.
Sort of like
AJ Jeff, that's good.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm good with that.
Yes, you
give them 15 minutes at SummerSlam.
Fine.
Oh my God, give them a ladder match at SummerSlam.
Fine. I'm with it. That'd be really good.
Jeff,
I don't think Jeff wins the title. I
don't think Jeff wins the title either because they're like doing this Jeff redemption storyline, but I don't think it's him. I don't think he's redeeming himself yet.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And then, then later in the night, they rescheduled the Big E and Morrison match. And so Big E won that, even though Retribution kind of came back and did all that little nonsense. So they came back. Big E beat Morrison. But after the match, bald Strowman came out. Yes, Braun Strowman is now bald, and it does not look good, in my opinion.
He's not helping himself at all. You know what he looked like? Have you guys seen I know, Clark, you definitely have. Jesse, you might have. But you know the Mandarin from Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley, where literally it's just a beard with no hair. He looked like just a jacked up Ben Kingsley. It's not a good look.
Yeah. No, it's not a good look. He had already an original looking look with his ponytail going on.
Braun gets worse and worse each week, honestly.
Literally, yeah. Yeah, no, literally worse and worse. But that happened. Then he calls out the Fiend. Alexa comes out.
I called this.
You called it?
I called this. I did. I said double turn.
Not.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
That's Alexa for you.
It did it again. I said there was going to be a double turn, and I was.
You're right. It did seem like it was a double turn. Braun went to attack Alexa once. Alexa slapped him a couple times because Braun wasn't looking at her. So Braun basically went to lift up Alexa. Lights go out. Fiend comes in. Braun disappears, smiling through the Titantron now, and Fiend's in the ring. It looked like a double turn, if you ask me. Don't really know for sure, but
I
it
don't
looks
know.
like Braun's back to being heel.
Yeah, I would say that's at least it. Is Braun is heel.
Yeah.
Fiend is maybe has redeeming qualities, or
Maybe the Bray inside the Fiend is kind of trying to fight through it a little bit.
to help Alexa or something. Yeah, I like it. I think it's interesting. Again, I think this feud is really good. It's just really sad that it's with Braun, because I think Braun is not very good in this. I think he's being overshadowed by Bray, and I think he's being overshadowed by Alexa.
I think so. 100% agree both ways with that one. He's not good in general.
Yeah, no.
We're not Braun fans here. We're not.
I want to see what happens. I really hope that, like, Braun talks himself up, is like, I'm this monster, blah, 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 and Fiend just destroys him.
That'd be fun.
Or, like, Braun just keeps power slamming him, and Fiend
Nothing
just
works.
keeps getting up.
I want Fiend to do a
Keeps
kip
getting
up.
up. Doesn't even lay on the ground for, like, a couple seconds. Just gets straight up.
Yeah, no, Fiend has to win. This Braun reign is horrible. Fiend stays like the heelish devil evil. I combined the word there. Fiend needs to stay the way he is, though. Braun turning heel is probably for the better, if we're being honest.
Yes.
So,
but I think I like the idea of, like, Fiend wins and everything like that, and then Alexa comes out and, like, you know, like, strokes his mask. Like how she did once. And, like, Fiend's still, like, a bad guy, but he very clearly has a soft spot for Alexa, obviously.
Yeah.
Which I think was obvious when – well, and I do think it's a nice turn that Bray wanted to use Alexa against Braun.
Yeah.
But then Braun is now using Alexa against the Fiend.
Yeah, I think it's great, and it just gives Alexa something new to do, too.
It also just gives another layer of, like, character complexity to the Fiend then.
Yeah, that too.
You know, and Bray's the guy who can pull that off, honestly.
Yeah, of course. We know what Bray can do, honestly. And we know what Alexa can honestly do, too. So pairing them together, I think, will be fun. I hope they really go through with it, and we see that happen at SummerSlam.
I know. Let's get mixed tag championships.
There
Give
you
it
go.
to Fiend and Alexa.
There you
Let's
go.
do it.
Perfect. Who would be their first challenger to the titles? Who would pick?
Because they had nothing else to do with them, Nikki Cross and Aleister Black.
Just because they're Scottish?
Yeah.
Scottish and, like, similar.
He's from Holland.
Oh, yeah, he's
Or
Dutch.
Amsterdam?
That's Holland.
Amsterdam and Holland, yes.
That's Holland, so he's technically
Yes.
Dutch. That's where my
Yes.
family comes from.
Valtovics. I
Well,
wonder if they know
portion.
the Aleister Black people.
Yeah, a portion of it.
Yeah, maybe you're related to him. You know,
No.
you're related to
Talk-
already half
we can
famous
talk to
people.
Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Tell him to go to Impact or AEW.
Oh my god.
He needs something.
He just needs something, honestly. Okay, that wraps up this episode of the Department Podcast. You know what to do. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We all have the same username for all of them now, @Department_pod. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the other ones. I don't remember the names, like Breaker, Anchor. Just subscribe.
Yeah.
5-star review. Tell us what you think of the show. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We really want to get those numbers up. It means a lot if you subscribe there. Leave us a comment. Let us know your favorite part of the show. And just help us be a bigger podcast. We can only do it with the help of you guys. But thank you for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.